there has been a sharp decline in the small and the medium enterprises, and hence we focus on the small and medium enterprises together with money that is being spent on urban development and transport, so that there is a chance to even reach out to the larger markets where you can shift your materials. So that's one. Again here, economic services will have a large, will be higher than the social services. The last one, of course, is where we spend exclusively only on the social services. That is, we focus only on education, health, water supply, sanitation, housing, and urban development. And this would be a useful one, but it only needs one caveat there, that it needs to be implemented after that objective of looking at the one where we weed some of those, weed out the schemes which are unnecessary, and how do we clean up our subjects. So that's a little more technical, which I am not taking up on this level, but that is what I am looking at. And so, as a person, as to finding out the options, what are my favorites and how I would look at. The studies that we have done so far has shown that most times at the local self-governments, that is at the district or even at the Gram Panchayat level, the real devolution of funds to these local self-governments is less than 1% in terms of the GST, which is a very, very sad situation. So we would like to spend, and under the Act, all the departments have been transferred to the Panchayat Raj institutions, and so there is a greater need for the locals, say, in some sectors, as to what are the local needs and how best they can come up with their own local solutions. That's one. And also the saddest part is when an allocation is made, that money has not been fully spent at the end of the year. That's even more sadder, in the sense that if you have made an allocation, why don't we spend it? It's for various reasons, in the sense that the money comes in late. Sometimes the final clearance comes in January or February, and so there is a time constraint and they have to spend before March, and hence there is a rapid kind of spending before March, and sometimes some of those funds get lapsed, so you can't actually carry it over to the next year. Some of the smarter district administration authorities say that they are going to use the money, take an advance, transfer it from the suspense account, use it for local, but it's not a very easy job at the local level. So there is a serious point that we take a note of. And of course, it has always been our eternal quest that if the monies are being spent, some of them really trickles down. Why is it that the outcome of that spending is not really shown? I mean, the money that we spend and the kind of product that we get in the end really don't match always. So, what we want to say that, so what does it mean? We would like to suggest that there is a capacity building at the local level. Not on all sectors, because definitely we do find that in some sectors the local level will not be able to adapt itself to the needs which need a higher level of thinking or needs a higher level of support. But definitely in some social sectors like education, health, drainage, for example, water supply and sanitation, it can be required at the local level. So we would suggest that 10% of our funds, that is 4,200 crores, 420 crores for a beginning, let us transfer it to the PRIs directly without asking them any questions, and ask them to spend that money, and over a period of time, as they learn to spend that money, we increase the money that are given to them or shared with them, and hence move further from there. That is what we are looking at. So, what would be the way forward there in that kind of scenario? What are we looking at in today's thing? The fiscal constraint remains. The state has a constraint in the sense that it has already taken loans up to its neck. We have already, according to 3.5% of the fiscal deficit, we already have touched that. So it doesn't have much of a leeway to borrow anymore from the market. That's one. So the question then arises, should it stick to that number at all? I mean, that's a question that we can discuss. I mean, in that sense, should it be so strict that it keeps to that requirement, or is it allowed to spend more, so borrow more? I mean, why don't we grow faster at a later rate and help? So why don't we spend now? So the expenditures are essential, so keep to that. And of course, the emphasis should be on making use of the funds made available in a more productive manner. I'll leave you with that, and then I'll look forward to your comments so that we can redo the options anyway, and any newer options that you would think looks better, under the circumstances was most welcome. We will take that on board. Thank you.
Hello. Now the lecture is open for discussion, and any question that you would like to ask is most welcome. I see a hand here now.
The central government has basically the central government has implemented the sixth pay commission, as we all know. So is there a wage revision for Karnataka state government employees factored into the budget, or if there is something like that, will the deficit increase further? What are your thoughts on that? Has it been already factored into these calculations?
So could you also please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Madhusudan, and that is one question. The other question is, in terms of bridging the gap between the revenue and the expenditure, since we all know that the current crisis is actually global in nature, so nobody is able to predict whether actually your growth rate will be 6% or 8% or how soon the economy will recover and stuff like that. So in that situation, to reduce, can we go with an actual estimated figure which is spread over a year, or should we look at, is it possible to look at revising it, because you said revising it midway is, it's an undesirable kind of thing. Since there is so much uncertainty, what is the guarantee, or what is the worst case, that could it end up with, cut in many of the essential allocations which are required, for instance, health and education and all. You don't want to see any reduction in expenditure. But in case push comes to shove, will it be necessary for the government to cut expenses in various areas? And on the other hand, there are countermeasures like salary increases and stuff like that. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Nice. Do I answer all of that? Okay. Okay, she would like to listen to other comments also, so that she can all take them all together. Krishna.